We always have an odd one in the crowd.
So it's kind of odd.
Decidedly odd.
Doesn't that strike you as a little bit odd?
No, that doesn't strike me as a little bit odd.
It's the Bob and Sheri Oddcast, with stuff we wouldn't, couldn't, or shouldn't do on the regular show. Now, here's the Oddcast.
Are you still loving going gray, Sheri? I'm so tempted to do that too. You know what? The amount of time and money that I have saved by just leaving my hair the hell alone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And except for some real bitches on Facebook, random strangers walk up to me in grocery stores and airports and ask me about it and compliment it. So it's really only nasty Facebook trolls that hate it, which I'm like, girl, you should hate your own hair. I mean, mine's not doing anything to you. But I will say, if you're thinking about doing it, Heather told me this, and she was preaching the gospel. Purple shampoo. Purple shampoo. It makes your hair that icy silvery white instead of that faded kind of yellow. People's Movie Critic, you might consider getting some, not that you have, I'm not implying that your hair is yellow, but you might want to consider some purple shampoo on that silver
Purple
fox
shampoo.
head.
Is it called purple shampoo? Is that the brand
Tell
name?
them about it, Heather.
Well, so it's actually just the type of shampoo it is. So there are different brands of it. But it basically is purple to balance out yellow, because purple is opposite yellow on the color wheel.
Okay.
It works. I've had people, I actually had a man at the Las Vegas airport on Sunday afternoon stop me and ask me what I used on my hair, because he has white hair, but it's yellowish. And I was so delighted that this grown ass man wanted to talk to me about beauty products. I couldn't even. Lisa Irish asked if I think my hair's healthier. Yes, but it's weird because it's not as curly as it was. And the guy that cuts my hair, Jason, told me the reason for that. And that's because when the pigment leaves your hair shaft, it changes the texture of your hair. And so my hair that had been I had to put a ton of product on it because it was curly and coarse. Now it's just sort of wavy and soft. Now I can make it curlier if I product the bejeebers out of it. Right, Heather? I mean, if I want it to be curlier. But if I just want to live my life and not be hassled, yeah, whatever. Life's too short. Let your hair do it. You can't train your hair. You've never been able to train your boobs. I can't even train a dog.
I got nothing, guys. I got nothing.
Crystal Bianco asked how my panel went the other week. It went really, really well. I had a lot of fun with the kid. I shouldn't call them kids because they're college age, but they're kids to me. So I had a lot of fun with the students, and there may be a couple watching tonight. So hello.
Well, can you tell? Are you cool telling my favorite part of your panel?
I don't.
Please, Heather. It's my favorite part of your panel.
Don't want to. Oh my gosh. I don't want to.
Tony, you're gonna die.
Maybe I'll wait till we're a little bit farther away from it, so that nobody gets in trouble. So maybe I'll tell it sometime soon. I will say that I ran into our former intern Garrett while I was up there, because he also went to Western, and he got married, and the wife effect has fully he dresses better now. We were used to the hoodie and the greasy hair. No, she's cleaned him right on up.
We had a handful of interns over the years, all different kinds. And a couple of them were these really shy, scroungy, scruffy boys. And watching those boys be transformed into hot men was wild.
Oh my God.
They'd roll into the studio at 22 years old, unable to make eye contact, just looking like they needed a bowl of stew and a warm shower and a safe place to sleep. And then you'd see them a couple years later and you were like, damn, son. Oh, you've got a girlfriend. Got it.
Yep. Or you got married. Yep.
That's funny.
The girlfriend effect or the wife effect is a real thing. I've seen pictures of especially my younger brother, the way he used to be, and then he got married to his wife. They dress better after they get married. I don't know what it's because they're picking out their clothes.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. We pick out their clothes. They eat better food. Here's the thing. You can survive on malt liquor and pizza rolls. You can. But you don't thrive on malt liquor and pizza rolls. Can we at least all agree on that? Thank you,
I
Chad.
do agree.
Now,
I do agree.
can I tell you something that goes along with this? On our honeymoon, my wife, and you guys have all met her, so you know. She actually packed my suitcase in the order of the outfits I was to wear. And so I opened up. No, this is not a joke. So I opened up the thing, and weeks before, she's making her lists and whatnot. And so, she loves lists. She's like that go-go song, Girl of 1,000 Lists. So anyway, I open up the bag. She's like, so what? She's like, just start at the top and work your way down. Okay, yeah, okay, what's the next one? That's for dinner tonight. Okay. And I just kept working my way through the suitcase all the way down to the bottom.
That's pretty cool. Cool.
This is why my husband calls me his permanent life assistant. And his portable hard drive. Yeah, I mean, we do. I kept vowing that I was never going to do that again, never going to do that again, never going to do that again. And then I had to do it again. Lisa Mayhew says, we haven't seen Kevin in forever. Can the sheriff make an appearance? I told him before I headed down to jump on, I was like, it's just me and Heather and Lamar and Tony tonight if you want to stick your head in. So Kevin has his youngest children are twins, Russell and Zane. And Russell has his own business. So his life goes like this. We don't see him because he's working around the clock. And then he might have a random day off where he doesn't have any jobs lined up. Today was that day. So yesterday afternoon, he and his dad drove up to the mountains and camped overnight together. Just kind of sat by the fire and
that's cool.
Hung out. I really encourage that because you got any opportunity you have to hang out with one of your kids, however old they are, you got to take it.
Oh yeah.
So the answer to your question, Lisa, is him's a little tired, but he may come down. He may come stick his head in.
Heather, did you see the wedding photographer that just got through shooting a Lord of the Rings themed wedding?
I know, and it almost makes me want to get married again at some point because wow, it was beautiful.
God, the Lord of the Rings. Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm never getting married again. I told Kev, I got home really late Sunday night and we got to chatting and I said, hey, just so you know, before I met you, I was never going to get married again. And you are the last man that will ever touch me. I am never getting married again. And he takes that as because he's done such a good job.
And you need to let it stay that way.
Exactly. He's just ruined me. He's ruined me for anything.
Yeah.
But a Lord of the Rings themed wedding, I would be so down with that. Oh, so down with that.
Back when I was videoing weddings, I shot one where they came down to Star Wars theme and they had lightsabers and, all of that. That was pretty cool.
That's so cool. This is what I love about people that do kind of wild theme weddings. In theory, it's something you're only going to do once or, maybe 3 times. Who's here to judge, right? But potentially you're only going to do it once. Shouldn't it be just exactly what you and your
whatever you want to do? Whatever you want to do.
Oh, Heather, by the way, the reaction to your casually mentioning that you're never getting married again. Many people think that we pick you up every day from 8th grade and tie you to your dad.
You're really young and fresh. I am in fact 31, you guys. Most people in radio are on their 3rd or 4th marriage by now.
But that's only because one hates to be selfish with one's gifts,
Right?
Practice makes perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, like why not? I mean, so many men to make miserable so little time. Laura Weinzimmer says, hi from Guernsey, Ohio. I cannot get enough of y'all talking about your relationships. Well, girl, there's plenty of it.
There are many of them.
There. Tony has been married once and one time only to his forever Miss Donna Marie. Heather was married once, very young, and she did it out of pure altruism. Lamar
There's
was
always an outlier in every group. There's always an outlier.
Lamar, Heather, thank you for your service, Heather. Like that was what that marriage was about. Lamar's been married once before to a woman who is the most lovely and phenomenal person and a dear friend, right?
Yeah.
And I've been married, a couple of times.
Wow.
I don't want to brag.
Overachiever.
Yeah.
Some of
You
y'all
really
are
have
only
to
on-
count them all. All of them don't actually count. I wouldn't think.
I didn't. Well, I had the first one annulled, so technically he doesn't count. And boy, was he salty about that. I was like, "Excuse you, I had you erased in the eyes of the Lord." But yeah, Tony's only been married the one time, and I don't like to rub in that I've been married more than once because then he feels like, "Oh, I'm never going to catch up."
I know. What are you gonna do?
Miss Sarah is in the house. She says no marriages for me. She made it past the radio curse, I think.
I got to chat with one of my mom's friends last week. Now, my mom called this woman because this woman is like, I am dying to meet your son and daughter because my brother and I were there together. And my mom said, well, you can come over, but I need to warn you ahead of time. They drink alcohol and they curse like pirates. Mom, but because my mom is very, very involved in her ward. She's LDS and she's very involved in her ward, and these are very, very nice church ladies. So imagine my surprise when this woman was not at all the stereotype that I was expecting. And my brother and I were very well behaved. It wasn't like we were chugging Ripple, yelling at babies. Yeah, she was fascinated by the fact that I'd been married more than one time. Fascinated by it. And I was fascinated by the fact that she'd only been married once since she was
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, we had lots to talk about. Carrie Bradley said, I was married at 21. We're still married 35 years later. We love each other to death, literally. See, I love that.
I'm right with Sue. It's 36 years for us, and it will be death if I have to do anything else.
Max's mom and dad clocked 75 years of marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Bless them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Tony. It's till death do you part.
It's not us. It's me.
It's till death till Donnie parts.
Yeah.
Lisa Coppola says, my sister was married 6 times and she's LDS. Well, salute to your sister's willing to be super duper generous with her love and kindness. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's a stereotype that isn't really true. But my whole family out west is LDS, and plenty of them are divorced and remarried. It's not a big deal. Let's see. Elizabeth Owens said, I had a Bob moment just now. I locked myself in the bathroom. Nancy Honeycutt says, I got locked in a liquor store bathroom at the beach. It was scary. The struggle was real.
Were they passing you shots through the window there? I mean,
because that wouldn't have been so hard to take.
Yeah. I'd have come out a lot happier than I went in.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh, hang on, y'all. Wow. One of my kids is texting. Let me just check real quick to make sure it's not okay.
Hope Rowan says, friend of mine once got locked in an outhouse in the woods in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night. It was about 20 minutes before I woke up to her screaming for help. And
let me go ahead and say that must have been a pretty powerful lock, because if I'm in the outhouse, that's better be a really big lock to keep me in there.
Yeah. I'm looking at Kim English, and my dad was a chef, and I actually got locked in the walk-in freezer when I was about 7. It was scary.
That's super scary.
That was
You're
really,
supposed to have
really
the person
scary
thing in there.
Yeah.
But no, the old ones didn't.
The old ones didn't. No.
Yeah.
Along with scorpions and quicksand, being trapped in an elevator was something I thought I needed to prepare for as an adult. Now, knock wood, it hasn't. I know it does happen to people. Have you not grown up and lived your whole life fully expecting to get trapped in an elevator at some point?
No, I say I'm a little older. I felt like quicksand was going to be a very big problem as an adult. I really
have you seen any quicksand?
Every cowboy movie, every jungle movie,
absolutely.
Quicksand, every path that they ran down led to a pool of quicksand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you know what's funny? And I only just had this epiphany. So I'm worried about quicksand. I'm worried about being trapped in elevators. I'm worried about perverts. I'm worried about clowns. I'm worried about meteorites. I'm worried about poison contaminated food.
I'm worried about you.
Right? All of these things, okay? All of these things. So this past August, Kev and I are camping and hiking in the desert. And after a couple of days, he says to me, I've been watching you, woman. And it's a good thing you know how to walk on the rocks because of all the scorpions and rattlesnakes. It had not occurred to me to be worried about rattlesnakes in the desert because I was too busy like, all right, we've set up camp. Are there any clowns nearby?
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do? Too many cartoons. Sue Carey Bradley got locked in a porta potty once, and her friends thought it would be funny to rock it from side to side. I would die. Oh my God.
Well, I don't know if those are friends, if they're rocking the porta potty from side to side. That's
Outhouses and porta potties are like my personal hell. I'm terrified of them.
We had a story in Morons in the News. I want to say maybe July, August, September. It was, who can tell, Lamar, the days blur. But it was a woman whose phone dropped into the hole in the porta-john. She went in after it and she got trapped down there. And they had to bring in firefighters to rescue her from the pit of human waste.
Just let it go. Just
let it
get
go.
a new phone.
No phone is worth that.
No.
They haven't made a phone that is worth that.
Nothing that is worth that to me. I wouldn't even stick my hand. No, I won't even go in one. I do not want to go in one.
Especially now that we have the cloud, you're going to have to walk me through. These are expensive. Like, these mobile phones are ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say your phone falls into the porta-john at the state park. That's not even a porta-john. That's a hole in the ground, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So your phone's down there, and maybe it's a brand new iPhone. What's the newest iPhone,
15.
Heather?
15.
And it was probably, I don't know, $1,000, $1,100, something like that. And it's at the bottom of a festering tunnel of the most grotesque human waste. I want you to picture your fellow humans and what they stuff into their pie holes on the regular. Okay. And then I want you to ask yourself, first of all, if you can retrieve your phone, will your phone ever work again? So there's that.
And are you wanting to hold it up to your face?
Right. There's that.
Most of what's on your phone, not everything, but the really precious things like photos, aren't those in the cloud?
Here's my question. If somebody walked up to
not.
you, if somebody walked up to you and said, I will give you $1,000 to jump down in that hole, would you do it? No.
Not to be bougie, but no.
Why in the hell would you do it to get a damn phone? I'm sorry.
Let's find the number that all of us here tonight would dive into a porta-john for. What is that number? Because I don't think anybody would do it. Not really. You really wouldn't go into a festering, fetid, rank, decomposing pit of human waste for $1,000. Don't say you would.
No.
Roxanne's like, not for $1 million. Roxanne's out, right?
And I should say, for those of you,
you wouldn't do it for $1 million? Roxanne, you must have money.
No. I don't think so.
$1 million?
Yeah, and for those of us who live west, this is a great conversation to have before dinner. Just putting it out there.
How much, Heather? How much you going in for?
What is Jeffrey Bezos' net worth? Because I think it would take at least that plus some. I really need a nice bigger truck to pull my camper with. I would probably do it for $100,000.
Y'all bitches, I'm going in for $25K.
What?
I am.
What?
That seems so low. That seems so
the
low.
Antibiotics will cost you $25K. You know how shitty our insurance is.
It's terrible, literally. I'm going in for $25K. I grew up hard. I grew up tough. 25K, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Now, let me say that $25,000 will be spent by my 2 daughters in 6 minutes.
Without leaving their chair.
Now, I'm not going to get that. I don't want you Venmoing it to me. I don't want you writing me a check for it. I'm going to need the cash money. I'm going to need cash money. This is not going to be tax money. But 100,000, I'd do it.
It needs to be marker checked by a banker before you go down there. I don't even want to go in there to use them. I do everything I can not to have to use them at events. Like, if I'm supposed to work an 8-hour event, I'm not going to the bathroom for 8 hours. It's not happening. So I just cannot fathom going in one at all.
Hey, Samantha's willing to go in with me. We'll split the money. Girl, if we can help each other down into that hole and back up out again, I'll split that 25K with you. That's money. Yo, that's money. That's real money. Like, where you been? The 25 grand is not real money.
It's not. I'm not saying it's not real money. I'm just saying it's not real enough. I'm with Lamar. I need a lot more than Lamar needs.
I gotta have 100.
Some bald guy in a black suit to come and open up a briefcase.
Yeah.
Well, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, most of my Porta-John contact comes at national and state parks. And I guess I just don't feel it's as gross as like the Porta-Johns at Lollapalooza. So I hear you, Heather.
Right.
Right. And plus, I could never get that imagery out of my head. Like, I'm going to need therapy for at least a decade after.
Well, I'm closing my eyes when I go in. I'm closing my eyes, my mouth, and my nose.
Hey, I was in a Porta-John at Warped Tour, so.
Oh, God.
Now I'm going to need, if I have to go into the Porta-John at Warped Tour, now I'm going to need Lamar kind of money to go into the Porta-John at Warped Tour.
Hey, I actually was I went inside a Porta-John at a Harley Davidson rally up in Cherokee, North Carolina.
That's bold.
Shamini Willis is asking the real questions. How long do I have to stay in there? That's the real question.
That's a good question. That's a legit question.
You've got to go all the way down and reach your hand and fish around for the missing object, and then you can come back up.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
I can't listen. When I watch one of them TV shows where they reach under a rock to get a catfish, I can't do that. So I don't know about reaching to trying to find something.
We got to stop. I'm starting to smell it. We've been talking about this.
I want to give y'all some perspective, though. Lauren Radford says, I've worked in healthcare and childcare. I'd probably go in for a lot less than most people. It's so real. Y'all, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I'm glad we've all got our price for going into a Porta-John, and that's a good thing to know about each other.
Yep.
Thank you for joining
y'all
us.
so much. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.